removing the demon force. One of Satan's greatest soldiers was...
Bro, he was dead, bro. If he wanted you out of there, he'll go do it himself on feet by himself.
Legend says that whoever finds the leftover dreads of King Von, they become his vessel and enact his will. And I think I found who ate all 60 of his dreadlocks. Jabber, who I would consider the absolute menace to the world of Gachiakuta. And what he does is all for the enjoyment of the Fade. So today I will be going over one of the best arcs in Gachiakuta and the absolute menace that is Jabber. Starting off right from the beginning, Rudo is asked to join a mission where someone explains how a spherite, which Rudo is, had fallen down and survived just like him, but was kidnapped by a trash beast. So this could be a chance to learn about how he survived and maybe a hint to getting back to the sphere. But just before Rudo got called to his mission, we see a man with a severed hand just groaning in pain, and he's just begging to be let go. And it's clear that whatever he was being tortured for, it was to get whatever info he had, which we then see the demon himself, Jabber. Just looking at those eyes, you know he's gonna be an absolute fiend. Jabber then proceeds to rip out the guy's tongue while grinning the whole time. He then begins to perfectly describe Rudo and keep this nasty eye roll back just thinking about fighting Rudo. Yeah, I already know he about to be weird as hell. So the gang finds the person who first sent out the report. And already this girl is looking mad suspicious because they didn't find her. She found them out of nowhere, like she was following them this whole time. And it's pretty unusual for a trash beast to go out of its way to kidnap somebody. So already this story is seeming pretty unbelievable. And eventually they find the building. And when they walk in, they notice something that looks like a person. And the girl is just rushing them to go in, like overly excited and rushing them. And somehow she's able to push this entire group of men single-handedly into the middle of the room, where we then see that the so-called spherite is actually just a doll, which then they fall down into a pit. But what I want to know is, how did they fall for the trap, bro? That is the most obvious shit ever. Look at the way she's backing up. Like, come on. And I don't even have 20/20 vision. I could tell the difference between a doll and a human from that far away. You cannot be kidding me right now. Anyway, the girl turns into a doll, and we get to see these two bum looking niggas pull up on them. Atrocious ass fit, looking straight out of Team Rocket if they were edgy. And of course, if your op got a cut this atrocious, they're gonna be pretty trash. So Zonka decides to take both of them on at the same time. Pause. Where it looks like they just got the upper hand for a sec, with their coordinated attacks and mix-ups. But Zonka is able to pretty quickly put them in their place and locate the real them. And after putting belt to ass, Zonka starts talking his shit.
Oh, just one hit at the trick.
It'll be just as easy.
And just the look on Zonka's face. And peep how Jabber looking too. Just straight out of a nightmare. Bro knew he was cooked for real, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, RP Zonka. Now back to Rudo, where they end up finding the exit. We learn that they aren't able to communicate with their home base because of how deep underground they are. So they make the decision to split up, with a majority leaving up the stairs while the rest stay behind to check up on Zonka. That's when they notice footsteps, assuming that they're Zonka's. And relieved that the whole situation is over, they start to celebrate. But that's when Jabber comes out the shadows, tired as hell from all that running with not a scratch on him. Damn, Zonka really got noticed. And gives everyone this evil ass stare down, shocking everybody. Basically conquers hockey. And this is really the first time we get to hear Jabber speak. And I'm not gonna lie, everyone who chose to watch Gachiakuta and sub were low-key wrong, because the dub really just shines in moments like this. Mainly because Jabber sounds like the evil light skin he is. And I knew his voice actor was gonna be good when I first heard the secretary speak like an actual black woman. Cause you know how sometimes animes be choosing the whitest people to voice the most dark chocolate characters for some reason. Back to Jabber, where he's just straight up ignoring everybody else and trying to use his evil light skin powers to convince Rudo to come with him to meet his boss. Where he then hits this mean ass, bruh, and then grabs the nigga Rudo's face.
What the hell you got this on for? Ain't no trash beast here.
Spoken like a true thug. And his demeanor is just so calm and nonchalant too, because he knows he could beat them all, as we learn that his main power is venom.
He's just sleeping off the beatdown I gave him. Now that said, he's probably not happy about all the fun stuff my venom's doing to his body.
Where we then get to see his laced long ass claws that honestly just look cool as hell. But they not gonna let him war farm for long, so the cleaners immediately get to scrapping but miss their first punch. Where Jabber takes the advantage of the opening and gives them a mean ass twirling kick. Gris tries to protect Rudo from Jabber, but
So chump, what can you do? Promise you're not gonna crash out on me, alright? think he's already dead. But don't worry, it's all good. Your weak are worth less than the stain they leave behind.
Holy aura! This nigga uses slang and one-shotted people too like it's nothing. Truly the GOAT. And naturally, Rudo is just in shock after seeing one of the closest people to him in the cleaners just get impaled like that. And we get this crazy animation of Rudo as a drawing witnessing Gris and his own dad get impaled, where he then grabs the amulet that was close to Gris and turns it into this sick looking hand with arms on the side. It kind of reminds me of Netero's Buddha too. But even after this crazy transformation, Jabber's reaction is just...
That's dope.
And he just starts drooling like a junkyard dog.
So, what's it do? You gotta tell me, man. I'm not playing around with you.
He really just enjoying the fact that he gets to fight someone strong and obviously is not afraid to scrap. And before they get to fighting, Jabber starts geeking out saying,
That shithead.
Okay. Let's rip each other to pieces!
and then he starts the fade. Jabber gets mad at the fact that Rudo hasn't thrown even a single punch yet, and when he goes in for it, hold on, give me a second. What the hell is he doing here? Oh nah, he is straight demon. Anyway, attack after attack, he just isn't able to land a single hit. It turns out that the power of each thing that Rudo touches is dependent on his interpretation of it, and he believes that this thing is meant to prevent anyone from getting hurt. So its power is to redirect attacks, not letting Rudo get hit a single time. Jabber still thinks this means that all Rudo is doing is dodging, also meaning Rudo still can't fight back. But the GOAT Rudo hasn't moved a single inch ever since they started fighting. So Rudo is able to redirect Jabber into every single one of his punches, with him not being able to counter at all. But Jabber is just enjoying this. And as he is getting his ass beat, he is just laughing all the way. Jabber tries to create a mist so the hand can't redirect his attacks since it can't see him, but it still does not work. Eventually, Jabber gets knocked to the ground, but by the looks of his face, he is not done yet. From his previous attack, he learned that the hand can only redirect things if they have a clear intent to do harm. So you know what he does next? He stabs himself with his own claws, using his venom to make himself pass out. And this is when we get to see his body, and it just starts beginning to moving and twitching on its own. And somebody please start praying for Rudo, because this man is actually insane. And then, while completely unconscious by the way, Jabber hits this airplane torpedo ass attack at Rudo, but of course he dodges that. My question is though, how stabbing himself makes him stronger. Like, all his attacks come out faster, he doesn't go down no matter what, and he's just a straight dog the whole time. So yeah, Rudo is clearly gonna lose this fight, because no matter what he does, this crack addict straight out of the streets of Old Block just does not want to stay down. And every time he just screams when he gets back up. This is also when we learn that Jabber is a masochist, meaning that he loves the pain a little too much. So they get back to fighting, and right before Rudo gets hit, Zonko, who was waiting in the shadows for the perfect chance to aura farm, saves Rudo in the last second. He honestly thinks he's so tough for that. He literally confirms this, by the way. This is not a joke. And they don't know if they could still win or not, but there is still hope, because Zonka comes up with a plan where he tries to hit Rudo as hard as he can. And because of his ability, Rudo could redirect him in any direction. And boy, the combo they start hitting on Jabber was mean as hell. Like, it looked like they were in a DBZ fight the way they were TPing behind him and hitting him with all these back shots. Hitting him so hard that his fent wore off. Eventually, Jabber finally goes down, but so does Zonka. And Rudo is just crying over the fact that the amulet he was given was broken because of his own power. And as he's crying, he falls to the ground, which we then see a cut on his back, which Jabber must have snuck onto Rudo. And because Zonka was already hit with it before, he cannot get back up either. And with perfect timing, Jabber just gets straight back up like nothing happened. I knew my glorious GOAT was gonna win this 1v2. Mind you, he was taking those nasty ass hits, and he got back up from all of them. It turns out his left claws are able to act as painkillers, which enable him to keep on fighting. Damn, he tough as hell. And when I saw this next scene, I was low-key getting flashbacks to COD Ghost when he took the main guy away while he could only watch. Jabber finds the escape looking a little too happy, but when he makes it outside, he sees the other cleaners, giving him straight BTA. And you're just gonna have to listen to this next part, because I don't know if y'all would believe me if I said that he actually said this.
You could really mess me up. Here I am, barely standing, vulnerable. And y'all are looking at me like something you flushed down a toilet. Careful now. I can only get so erect.
Yeah, I don't know if he's the next King Von or the Hisoka of this anime, but he is no longer my GOAT. Do not associate me with him. Like, what do you mean by
Vulnerable.
Yeah, that's the freaky light-skinned side of him coming out. And even though this nigga Jabber is surrounded, he is still ready to take them all on at once.
Even with me knocking on death's door, that ain't happening. Cause I can't go back until I do what I was told. Man, this sucks so hard!
He does not duck a fade. And he is just completely ready to go at him until his allies show up and tells him that he needs to back off because of the boss. And sadly, this is the last time we're gonna see Jabber for a while, but at least I could declare him the current holder of all 60 of King Von's dreads, which is especially dangerous when you pair it up with his pure light skin freakiness. But anyway, I'll see y'all in the next one.